Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Jonathan. Today I'm bringing you a little bit more of a serious video. Today I'm going to be talking about the people in your life and them dying while you are in the military. The truth is that everybody dies. It's part of life, and sometimes it happens super unexpectedly. It might be your coworker, and unfortunately it might be your mom, your dad, or whoever is extremely close to you in your life. And I know this video is super off topic from what my channel would normally be about, but this is something that I have had to deal with multiple times, and it's something that I didn't think about when I was joining the military. And I want a lot of my videos, all of my videos, if that, to be things that you might not think about when you're joining the military, because ultimately these decisions can affect you joining or not, and some people might not have the emotional capacity to handle situations like this compared to other people, because everybody grieves differently. So this video is going to be about me, how I dealt with it, kind of how I grieve, and just kind of stuff like that. So when I was joining the military, when I was in DEP, I signed my contract and I had my ship date. My grandpa passed away, and it was a little bit before Christmas. It was pretty unexpected. He went to the hospital. He had like a broken vertebrae or fractured vertebrae or something like that. They went in for surgery to basically glue it back together so that it could start the healing process and heal, the right way. He ended up getting an infection in the hospital, and he just kind of died. And he was in the hospital for, I think, for about a month, or sick for about a month or something like that. And he just caught something at the hospital. He ended up with some kind of pneumonia or something like that. And he ended up passing away, and it sucked a lot, and it was super unexpected. Obviously when you have older people in your life, you kind of look out for things like that happening. But I don't think any of us expected that to happen. A lot of people in my family were extremely close to him, and it really sucked. And I know that I wasn't specifically in the military at that time, but that was kind of like a huge eye-opener for me because of how unexpected it was, and I was right about to leave to BMT. So now the main thing that I want to hit in this video is that somebody who you're very close to, like your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, your sister, your brother, your nephew, your niece, whoever it may be, even people who aren't blood related to you, they can die. Obviously everybody dies. I just said that in the beginning of the video, but they might die, and you might be in Japan when it happens. You might be in Germany when it happens. You might be deployed when it happens. You might be here at Scott Air Force Base in Illinois away from home, or you might be a little bit on the luckier side, even though that's an unfortunate event where it happens, you're in the state, and like you're stationed in the state that it happens in, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of fortunate enough to not be at BMT when that happened. I still was able to travel. I still could come to Illinois, almost 2 hours away from where I'm at now, because he lived in Illinois, and my family lives in Illinois, so they live like 2 hours away from me. But I was fortunate enough to be able to travel to go to the funeral, right? But this year, or I guess it would have been last year, 2018, my uncle passed away in the fourth quarter of the year. I think it was like October or something like that. I don't like to remember the dates. I don't like to think about it that much, but it was in the fourth quarter of last year. It was before Christmas, before Thanksgiving. And he had stage 4 cancer. I don't know what specific cancer it was, but he survived like 4 years or something like that, and then he ultimately ended up passing away. It wasn't due to the cancer. Again, he went to the hospital, and that was it. Just, I don't know what happened. It wasn't directly related to the cancer. I don't know if it was an infection or whatever the case may be, but he ended up passing away, and it was unexpected as well. You never really think about that. You kind of are aware of the situations that your family might be going through with and dealing with, and you have an idea, and then it actually hits you once it happens. And I was at work. It was like a Monday. No, it wasn't a Monday. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was cold. It was a cold day. It was a normal day at work. We had PT in the morning, got into work around 9 o'clock, and it was like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and my mom texted me and she was like, "I'm gonna call you in 2 minutes." And at first it's just like, dang, like why? Like, why would you not just call me? Why would you need me to, why would you like kind of insinuate that I need to prepare 2 minutes for a phone call? That was kind of weird to me. I didn't immediately think about my uncle. We knew he was in the hospital just because he had gotten sick at home. but he wasn't dying because of cancer. It wasn't that. He just got sick and needed to go to the hospital for whatever reason, right? And so it was just super unexpected. Like I went up and I went out to the hallway because I was like, that's kind of weird. Like why would you say that, right? And she calls me and she drops it on me, and like I'm trying not to cry. I'm a very emotional person when it comes to things like that, and I think this is super weird. And again, everybody's different. But after BMT, it became a lot harder for me to cry. And I know BMT people are like, oh, it's easy, like it doesn't affect you. And it didn't really affect me, but it kind of brought me to this weird, depressing state in my life after BMT. And I truly think that it kind of affected the person that I am today emotionally. And I don't know why that was. I think it is directly related to kind of being away from anybody that I knew and going to a completely new place, like just abruptly in my life. And I think that kind of had a toll on my body. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I was able to not cry at work. And after I got off the phone with my mom, I was like super shocked, and I just kind of went back into the room, and all my coworkers and friends were like, yo, like, what's up, man? Like, are you good? And I was like, nah. And I told them, and I told my supervisor, and I was like, I'm gonna go home. Like, this is what happened. And so then I left. Usually supervisors are really cool with certain situations in your life and stuff, whether it's something ultimately that insane or just being sick. And so he let me go home. And once I got in the car is when it all kind of came down on me, and I started crying and stuff like that. And I know this is like a super specific story and stuff like that to the whole big picture, but the problem with this was that I wasn't in Colorado when that happened. If you don't know where I'm from Colorado. He died in Colorado. My family lives in Colorado. But I wasn't in Colorado when I found out about this. I couldn't just hop on an airplane and fly home. I couldn't drive to Colorado. I mean, obviously, if I really wanted to drive 13 hours to do that, I would have. But in this situation, it wasn't very realistic for us. And it sucked. It really sucked not being able to be with my blood family right then and there through that situation, and being able to grieve with my aunt who just lost her husband, who I'm very close with. You know, it was very stressful for me, and it sucked. That's just what it comes down to, is that it sucked. And that's when it hit me later down the line. But that's when it hit, where it's like, I never expected this. I never expected to be in a position where I can't just drive to my mom's house to be with my family, my blood family, because I don't want to discredit my wife and say she's not my family, because my wife is my family, my dogs are my family, my family here is my family. But go to Colorado, drive to my mom's house, to my blood family like that, you know what I mean, to go be with them in that situation. And it just really sucked. You know, if tomorrow my dad called me and told me my mom died, or my brother died, or my sister died, or something like that, I really don't know what I would do. I have no idea what I would do. I can't get on an airplane. I can't go to the airport and just get on an airplane. You know what I mean? Nobody has money. Some people have money like that, right? That's what saving is for and stuff like that. But nobody wants to spend that money and be put in that situation. And I don't want this video to be super depressing or anything like that, but I want you to kind of think about that. Like, what if I'm in Japan and somebody who I'm really close to dies and I can't get home ASAP? And this video isn't to deter you from joining the Air Force at all, because it's a great thing. Like, it's an awesome experience. There's tons of other benefits and stuff. And although those things aren't directly kind of similar to people dying, obviously, like that's not the trade-off. Those are just some of the things you have to deal with in life, and you can't limit your whole life because of people dying. It's more of just having that in the back of your head, like, okay, this is a situation that I might have to go through at some point in my life. And I know that this isn't necessarily a problem for everybody, because some people have people die in their life, and you know, it's not that big of a deal to them, which is insane for me to think about. I would never be able to be that person, and that's not who I am. But I know people who are like that. And yes, they would probably go home for a funeral. Yes, they would probably be sad about it, but they wouldn't be completely broken down from those certain situations. They wouldn't need to be with their family in those situations, is what I mean. So if you're that person, this probably isn't going to be that big of a deal for you. But I think most people are very emotional going through situations like that. And so I just want this video to be kind of a clarification of thinking about that before you join the Air Force, or even if you're already in the Air Force, just kind of keeping that in mind, that you might have to prepare yourself for something like that in your life, because you never know when life is going to end. And I just want to throw one more thing on there. I knew, I don't remember his name, so I'm sorry for that, but I knew this guy in tech school. He was awesome. He had like a British accent. I think he was brought to America, but he was British or something like that. He was the funniest dude. He used to dress up in like a Spider-Man costume on Saturdays and Sundays and like walk around the squadron and stuff like that. This was Zach Kiesler. And he actually ended up passing away last year as well. He was stationed in Arizona, I believe, and he ended up just getting in a car accident on the highway, losing control or something like that. And unfortunately, he passed away. And like, when we found out about that, this was at work, we found out about that, we were all just like, dang, like, that is crazy. And that's just kind of one of those things where it's like, life can end at any time. Anybody in your life, their life can end at any time, and that's just something you have to think about. And it scares the hell out of me. That's one thing in my life that I deal with all of the time, is kind of like that fear of dying and stuff like that, and I have to get through that. But I just want you guys to also take that into consideration. But don't let this deter you from joining the military. It's an awesome experience and stuff like that, but it's just one thing to keep in mind. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We just hit 4,000 subscribers, and I know this might be a weird video to kind of highlight that in, but I'm extremely thankful for hitting 4,000 subscribers. Me and my wife are going to be making kind of a more fun, not so Air Force-y at all video, and going to be uploading it for 4,000 subscribers, which is awesome. So if you haven't already, leave your ship dates down below with any questions that you may have, and peace out.